Good evening, everybody. Let me ask you something. Have you ever spoken directly to IITians about their journeys? If not, trust me, today is your chance. Every school has students who leave behind memories, and then there are students who leave behind memories only to return one day with stories. Stories of places they have traveled, challenges they have taken on, paths they have explored, along with the lessons that they have learned throughout. And out of these, there are only a few who come back to tell stories about their massive success. So, welcome everybody to this special day where all of your questions will be answered. And we might just help you in setting a spark of curiosity within each one of you. So, what are we waiting for? Bring your family, call your siblings, ring up your friends, prepare a 5 minute bowl of Maggie, and sit back to listen to this unique episode of Youth Lounge Season 4, Episode 2, hosted by DPS Bangalore East. We are your hosts, Reyansh,
And Arna.
who are going to be alongside you through every second of this episode. Now, you must be wondering who are our precious guests?
Dropping the curtains, I would like to give a warm welcome to Amog Margasari, an IIT Guwahati graduate, a designer, music producer, and a creative thinker who has refused to put himself into just one box. Sorry, I was on mute. Okay. Dropping the curtains, I would like to give a warm welcome to Amog Margasari, an IIT Guwahati graduate, a designer, music producer, and a creative thinker who has refused to put himself into just one box. From working with brands and creating visual identities to exploring music and transforming ideas into experiences, Amog has built a career around something we don't hear enough about: the freedom to explore more than just one passion. Good evening, Amog. How do you feel being here today?
Uh, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty nostalgic. It's been I'm speaking to you guys a little bit earlier. It's absolutely a throwback to when I was in school and what I was going through. So it's good fun to talk to students now, looking back on it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that from you.
Our next guest, Miss Mohini Katyal, began her journey right here in these classrooms. She graduated from DPS Bangalore East in 2022, after which she cleared one of the toughest exams, that is JEE, to get a BTech degree in electrical engineering at IIT Madras. She was a part of numerous projects and activities that helped her building her into what she is today. She was a member of the students' avionics team, Abhyuday, during her early years at IIT Madras. She participated in the Social Innovation Club and developed an assistive technology to help visually impaired people. Ms. Katyal worked closely with the founding team of a deep tech company, Matterize. She even was selected for the International Summer Exchange Program and headed to the Technical University of Denmark in Copenhagen. She was hired as a summer intern at JP Morgan Chase. Mohini Katyal's team was invited to the Tarmani Quant Research Contest, where her team was placed 18th out of 84 teams. She now finally works at a quant company in HSBC in Bangalore itself. Mohini, how do you feel coming back to the campus as a guest for our online talk show?
Yeah, I'm hello guys. So I'm really excited to be here, and I love to see the enthusiasm of you both. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Well, that's good to know. We are so excited to get answers to so many of our curiosities today. My dear viewers, today we will learn that there is no single formula for figuring out what to do in life. Perhaps as you listen to them today, don't just ask, what did they achieve? Ask yourself, what am I curious about? What could I explore? What if I took a chance? Because somewhere among the stories that they share today, you may just find a possibility of your own story. Now, without further ado, we would be delighted if our guest, Miss Mohini, answers our first question. Schooling and alma mater helps to shape one's values and beliefs. DPS, with its incredible academics and infrastructure, must have helped you to dream big. We would like you to share your journey from DPS to HSBC.
So thanks for that question. So my leap years was like an integral part of my JE journey because of like mainly the Allen collaboration, and I was able to like balance my both Allen and my DPS together. That was like the one thing. But apart from that, before JE prep, also like the school has like a very wide range of people. So like there's people who are great in sports, who are great in like extracurriculars and cultural things. So like it all really inspired me from my very childhood that some was doing really good on a national level, some was doing some sport, and like it kept me really motivated to like be something different and like use the resources the school has. And obviously the teachers were also really helpful. Like it was kind of chill, it wasn't too much pressure, so I got time to do homework and island work and all that, so it was like a really good moment for me.
Okay. So, was it from the beginning itself that you wanted to go towards the science side? Because you just mentioned that there were a variety of people and you were motivated from each one of them, right? So, was it since the beginning itself that you wanted to go towards IIT Madras? I'll go to IIT Madras one day.
No, obviously. So, like, I
Okay.
didn't even know about GE for a very long time. But then
Hmm.
I was into chess a lot. So I used to play a lot of chess. And I also went like in one tournament through school itself. And
Okay.
I didn't like maths at all before seventh grade. So my scores were also not that good. But then, I was just exploring here and there. I remember like English was pretty fun for me. I enjoyed like writing essays and all that, and like the English classes were also very fun. Like that's one good memory that I remember. And like it was like a lot of exploring and just like meeting new people, and then I would just talk to my classmates like what are they up to, and then it was a lot of stuff. But then eventually, I think after eighth or ninth grade, when things get a little serious, I decided to go with science. So that was my path usually.
Wow, that's incredible and inspiring, really, because it's something we can really relate with. And it's amazing to see how your school years laid the foundation for such an incredible journey.
Yes.
My first question is for Amog. Your experience with NCC, both in school and at IIT, and your multidisciplinary interests in design, music, film, and storytelling reflect a willingness to explore beyond your conventional boundaries. How did DPS Bangalore East support you in balancing these interests with academics and give you the confidence rather than limiting yourself?
Uh, it's a yeah, it's a very that's a like it's a very deep insight to ask that. So in my case, I'd say go throughout school, I tended to explore a very broad plethora of things. I was always looking at music. I was always analyzing film. I would always scribble in my notebooks. I'm sure I've changed the haircuts of many of the scientists in our textbooks. So there's always been that. And what I struggled with was kind of putting it all into streamlining it into a way where into something that one is used my creative energy as well. Like it was productive. It was coming out um, as something meaningful. So what NCC helped me with, and what my time you know between schooling and NCC, what it helped me with, is get a sense of discipline and get a sense of structure. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of kids right now who are in the NCC who either absolutely they don't like it, it's too tough for them, or it's too harsh. And I get it. I absolutely get it. I've been through so many punishments and push-ups and NCC, which is the nature of it, and it's so much fun when I look back on it. And it gave me a sense of it gave me an ability to kind of express it and make it a part of myself, make it a part of my identity, rather than just doing all of the things I like to do in secret, rather than just leaving it as a background element. So in my case, I didn't have to like decide on any one thing, but I was able to do all of it and enjoy all of it all at once. So that's kind of what school gave me the freedom to do, and NCC gave me the discipline to push through.
Doing so much, it needs like quite dedication. Where do you get that from?
Um, I I don't think it comes so much from dedication as much as for me, it comes from an urge of like I have to put something out there. I have to like, express this, or I have this idea and I need to make it happen. It's I would say dedicated definitely in the sense that, I'm making sure that what I want to express is being expressed. Um, but I'd say more than dedication and more than discipline, I am just naturally very helter-skelter. I always do all sorts of, every 3 days there's something new to try out, there's something new to dabble in, and then I go back to go back to, let's just say, my music, and I'm like, oh man, okay. To put it simply, it's just everything that I do gives me something else in return. Like it lets me feel a certain way, of connects some neurons in my brain. So I just naturally switch gears like that.
Yeah, that's inspiring to see how DPS Bangladesh could support you to pursue such diverse interests.
Mr. Amok, I would just like to add up something.
Mhm.
Uh, so basically, you used to focus on a lot of things together. Did you ever feel like uh, your focus shifting to music when you're doing NCC or the other way around? Did you face that when you're doing something, your mind is going somewhere else, your other favorite activity instead of one?
That was actually the kind of problem I started out with when so even in school, my mind's always like, as much as I was able to pay attention in class, which was also like shared with some of my other creative thoughts and daydreams and things like that. Um, it's the thought, you can't stop the thought process, you can't stop your mind telling you, "Oh, here's this crazy idea and here's this awesome thingy." What I learned to do is to be able to park an idea and come back to it. So rather than distracting me, it's always like keeping me optimistic and keeping me excited for the next, what I'm going to do in the next 2 hours after this one. And before I got here, I was thinking about this. So in the sense that, if I'm in school right now, I get an awesome idea for something I'd like to try out musically. I write it down just on the back of my notebook, and I remember it and park it for later. And then before getting to school, I had a thought of there was something I wanted to discuss about a show I watched, or about an anime I watched with my friend, and I would be thinking about that on the bus journey. And while I'm doing the music, I'm thinking about something else. Just write it down, park it away, and then come back to it. So more than being distracted, and more than like trying to push away a distracting thought, I address the thought. I just put pen to paper, and then I'm fine. Like I'm back in focus.
Wow, 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 wow. So you basically use your excitement as your energy to push forward in the current activity, and
Yeah,
after that was
absolutely.
done,
Yeah.
you did the other activity, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. That'll be really useful for the viewers here. All right. My next question is for Mohini.
Yes.
We all get distracted 24/7. No judgment. But for students in exam mode, what are your go to tricks which you followed to get your focus back and actually sit and study instead of letting your mind wander here and there?
So like let's be honest, it's like obviously like a lot of distractions are there in today's world. So it's not an easy task, but like at the end of the day, you need to see the long picture and just be like, I need this exam to be cracked or whatever. And you have to have like at the end of the day, you need to have discipline. So for me, it was like a big distraction is obviously phone and stuff. So during my J days, I just deleted Instagram. Like I barely had an account and I deleted it, but then I still felt like okay, I want to see something. So then I specifically put my Instagram on my dad's phone so that every time I need to see Instagram I have to go there, and then it's like a really huge pain. So then I would just not see Instagram and I would just continue studying. And obviously I would stick to healthier means of entertainment like YouTube or just watching some episodes of some show instead of like really bad distractions, or like even you have to make some sacrifices obviously, like while seeing the bigger pictures. Like I would like take like small breaks, but then like you need to like try to put yourself in that environment where you cannot get distracted at all. So that was mainly my big distractions. Apart from that, like social life and all, you need to balance because you can't be like without hanging out with friends and all. You can't stay like that for 2 3 years. But then when you do, you need to keep it moderated. You can't go out every time and go to every hangout and all like that. So you need to have a balance, and you need to have that discipline that I'm not going to do this no matter how much I want to.
Okay. Mohini, one thing I would like to ask you here. You know, I've asked all my friends and personally also, I would like to say that, even I and my friends want to focus.
Mm.
We want to be disciplined. Today I'll be disciplined, and I will not let my mind wander, right? I will put my Instagram away.
Yeah.
But, that thing, that distraction just somehow comes back into your life. uh, your mind starts to find ways to get yourself distracted, even though that thing is not distracting,
Mhm.
right? So, we found out that this is more of your brain trying to escape the tough job of working. Did you ever face this? And if you did, how did you manage to push through and pull through to IIT Madras?
Yeah, so I obviously faced it, and to be honest, I still face it because I got Instagram back again. But then, like, the thing is, you need to like, I get the point you were saying, and it's very true that you are trying to avoid something really hard, so you keep getting distracted. So even if I turn off Instagram, I still start daydreaming or thinking about something when I'm studying. So the thing is, in that a trick that I've noticed is like start with a very easy thing first, and then slowly build momentum. Like just do the very basic exercises which everyone does if you're doing a chapter, and then after that you can slowly go to the harder parts instead of completely getting overwhelmed in the beginning. And even if it's kind of a waste of time, that okay, I just wasted 1 hour on these exercises, they were easy only, but it will give you a lot of motivation to keep going slowly. And like obviously when you see results, like it's like 1 or 2 months of grunt work, like you don't see results, but then once you start seeing them, it's like a reinforcing loop. So you can just like you feel a lot of dopamine when you get like a good score or when you are able to solve the hard questions. So then after that it gets easier. Like the starting itself is the hard part in anything.
Okay. So let me get this straight. So in the beginning, what you did was start giving yourself excitement and dopamine, as you said, using getting used to the easier questions.
Yeah.
So basically, giving yourself the wins of yes, I did the question. I was able to solve it,
Yeah.
and then you transitioned into the tougher questions
Yeah.
slowly. Okay,
Yeah.
understandable.
Also, yeah,
That
by the time you transition to the tougher questions, you have that rhythm, so you avoid getting distracted and you get more excited to solve them.
okay.
So, yeah.
So, but then if you get stuck at one of those tough questions again, your
Hmm.
mind starts to wander once again, and you're back to square one.
Yeah.
How do you move on? Because
So
again,
like
those
it's
same questions.
sorry.
Do you again start doing the simple questions?
No, so when that happens, like your consistency matters more than like what productivity you had. So maybe you give some time to that question. Otherwise, you circle it for later and then you continue with the rest of the questions so that your flow doesn't get spoiled. And then in the end, you can revisit those questions. But then I get it. It's a pain then also that all my hard questions are left now. So those you can take help obviously from your teacher and stuff. But you need to keep the momentum going every day. It can't be like you're just stuck and then you just stop studying. So that's like where most people like fall apart.
That's where the fight is,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Mohini. That was really insightful and helpful for all the viewers.
Anytime.
I would like to ask my next question to Amog. Balancing academics in extremely high study pressures requires effective time management. What strategies helped you stay organized, follow your plans, and keep pace with your academics while making most of your time?
Yeah, I'd like to echo some of what Mohini had said. Absolutely. I also, the sense of starting off a little bit slow, so you get a sense of achievement. You get like a little bit of a sense of, okay, I'm able to conquer some of it. And then you can just gradually level up to the heavier tasks. What I did, particularly what worked for me, is again my weak point throughout most of schooling was structure, was a sense of structure. And here's a big part of where my mom kind of held me accountable and kind of helped me get my head in the game and get focused. So this is particularly around the time of boards, 10th boards for me, where some of my exams had not been going particularly well, but I really had to buck up for, to get into, to make the science cut. And what I did, what me and my mom sat and prepared overnight is like this almost 24 hours, basically a 24-hour schedule. And I was able to, and in that schedule, what will be interesting is that I had 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of breaks and fun times and goofing off, and 1 and 2 hours for about lunch and for lunch and dinner, and only about 5.5 to 6 hours of studying. Because for me, the problem was also that I can't stay in one place for a very long time. What I would also do is morning, I'd study for an hour and a half. That's one block. I'd start with an easy subject. Again, like Mohini said, it's all like genius thinking and it's like genius process system creation for yourself, such that you make it as easy as possible for you to get your studying done. Morning, I had an hour and a half of probably English or one of the other subjects where where I was like really strong or really confident that where I was really confident. I'd spend an hour and a half in the morning, maybe either reading a book or I'd go out, roam around, cycle, whatever. Come back, have lunch, have another study break in the afternoon, for 2 hours. And this would probably be something a little bit tougher, like math, or for me at the time, social studies. Um, Push through that, take a nap for an hour, go outside, meet some friends. If there's a hangout or something, get it done in those 2 hours. I have a nice 3 hour period in which I sleep for an hour and meet friends for 2 hours, come back, and another about 2 hours before bed. I'd do another tough topic. Maybe I'd do math again if I didn't conquer it, or if I didn't conquer enough of it, and then I do something else. So by doing this kind of split of 1 or 2 hours at most, I gave myself the ability to do all of those total 6 hours at nearly full strength. Like my battery is almost always full. And if I didn't make, I didn't finish my chapter in that 2 hours of time, it's okay. I have another set of 2 hours later in the day, or I can pick up on it tomorrow again. The biggest thing that I had to learn to stop doing was punishing myself for screwing up that schedule. So structure. I created a structure. Me and my mom worked on the structure. I told all my friends, listen, if you have to hang out, it's this time to this time. I'm not free anytime before that. Um, Sometimes my friends would meet for longer. I would be a little bit upset about that, but it's okay. I'll meet them again tomorrow. And it should be okay. And those 2 hours where I'm working, you brought up the question earlier of, when you hit a roadblock, you get stressed and then you immediately move towards distractions. What worked for me is to stop myself, say, okay, I'm getting stressed out. That's why I want to pick up my phone. Um, and then either say, am I like justified in being stressed? Yes. Math is tough. This is tough. It's stressing me out. Say it's okay to be stressed and then just take a breath and then continue. It didn't work all of the time. I still picked up my phone a few times, I will admit. But that's how I kind of approach things.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. But I'd like to pick up something.
Hmm.
You know, we all make plans, and but the thing that we fail to do is actually execute that plan. I'll study from 4:30 to 6 o'clock.
Hmm.
What did I do? I uh, I started studying at 5 o'clock instead. I wasted that half an hour.
Hmm.
Suppose, just an example. So, and maybe I'm supposed to study 5 hours a day, but then I studied 3 hours a day. Did this ever happen to you? And how did you recover from it? And how did you force yourself to follow that plan properly?
Yeah, no, absolutely real scenario. It happened to me more times than I can count even in that planned period. Um, so I would always think about, the scenario. I had to study, say, 5 hours today, I only did three. I'd always think about it in terms of those 2 hours I missed, in the sense of like, oh man, I missed those 2 hours, I screwed up. Um, and initially again, I would kind of beat myself about it. What I'd then be forgetting about is that I still studied for 3 hours, which would have been possibly zero if I was just kind of left to my own to, in front of a book. Um, so point one, don't hurt yourself. Don't, like punish yourself about it. Don't feel hurt about it. It's a recoverable mistake. Losing 2 hours of study time is a recoverable mistake. Losing a day of study time, a recoverable mistake. Um, so, the more shame or guilt you feel for missing for some of these mistakes, the less motivated you'll be the next day when you get started on it. The next day for example, again, 4:30 I'm supposed to start. I started at 5. That's okay. I lost half an hour. It's, it happens. I genuinely just would start telling myself, oh man, it happens. And my mom was also like, no, she's typically pretty strict. She just told me, listen, it's fine. You lost half an hour, you still have another hour and a half. Do what you can with the hour and a half that you have. That's the approach. Um, so, and that is one. And two is, if you can't trust yourself to stick to a schedule, um, ask your parents to help you out. Ask your siblings to keep you on the clock, or complain to your parents if you're not if they don't see you with your book. You know, uh, if you can't, if you don't yet trust yourself to stick to your schedule, ask someone to keep you accountable till you are able to keep yourself accountable. That is probably the best thing. You don't have to deal with your headache alone. You don't have to deal with it just sitting in your room in front of your maths book and you're crying. You're like, oh, I lost 1 hour today. Haven't been able to finish the chapter. It's okay. Just do what you can with the time you have, and you can make up the rest later.
Sure. That was amazing. That's something I've never really heard. Thank you so much, Mr. Mug. And it shows how discipline and planning can help students can make to make most of their opportunity.
My question is for Mohini.
Yep.
So, okay. We really would like to ask you about your study strategy because this is what we as students actually struggle with. So imagine you're back in your senior high school, going to the coachings daily. First, if you miss a couple of concepts in class, how would you cover it that same day and make sure you don't forget it later? Second, if you have new topics going on, plus revision of old chapters, plus backlogs all at once, what would your plan be to manage all three together?
Okay. So the first question was like, if I learn a new topic, how do I cover it the same day?
If you miss the topic in class, like
Okay.
if, yeah.
So if I miss a topic, like my immediate plan would be that I just go back home and do it quickly. But then sometimes it doesn't happen because you have homework and you have other stuff also is going on. And you might have an exam which you're preparing for. So like, but the thing is you need to always have it at the back of your head that I need to do it and it is on high priority. Otherwise it will eventually become a backlog and then I'll forget about it. So that is there. And apart from that, like if I do miss something, I make sure that I don't miss the things that come after that. Like it doesn't go into this loop that I'm just continuously missing stuff. So if one concept is missed, I'll just like circle it and then next class onwards I'll pay attention and try to understand as much as possible until like I get a little bit of free time, mostly the weekend or something, and I can cover that topic. So usually that was my strategy for that. And what was the second question?
So if you have new topics going on in your classes and then you have to revise your old chapters and you have all the, if you have any backlogs, that's there. So how would you manage all three of it?
Yeah, so to be honest, I did struggle with that a lot. But then it mostly depended on my exam schedule. So, for example, if I have some science exam the next day, I would mostly prioritize on all the things related to that subject. Like if I have a backlog in science, that's the time to finish it. Or if I have some new chapter in class and my exam is in 2, 3 days, so I need to do that thing. So it would mostly like schedule based on like the exams coming up, and especially if some concepts are there in an Allen test, say if there are backlog, it's like a good opportunity to complete the backlog and be on touch. Even though some exams like they are just for test, like just for practice, you don't necessarily have to score good. But then I would be like, since this exam is there, let me just prepare. My older topics will also be covered. So like some external motivation was there, like thanks to like DPS and Allen. But then apart from that, it's best to have like a list of all the topics remaining and then slowly try to tick off like the important ones. But like I also struggled with this a little bit. Like I had a huge backlog in my 11th, and then in my 12th, I had to slowly cover it before G.
I think most of us suffer with that. That sounds
Yes.
like a balanced approach, though.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it just takes like persistence that you need to like cover it some or the other time. So just do it someday. And it will be like a really boring day because it's an old topic and all that. But then you have to do it.
thank you.
Yep.
My next question is for Amok. Transitioning from IIT to the professional world begins with new expectations and challenges. How did your design education, leadership experiences, and creative projects prepare you for this transition?
Um, a big thing, a big myth that I told myself, and that I was hearing from all of my seniors, is that whatever I do here will kind of set a um will be necessary in the next phase of life in college, and whatever I do in college will be necessary in at work. And what I have kind of realized now, looking back on it, is that whatever preparation you're doing today, that you guys as students are doing now for college, and whatever you will be doing in college for work, will kind of only be about 20 or 25% of what you need to know when you reach that phase. So everything I thought I knew when going into my starting, like when I started college, and everything that I thought would be necessary only contributed to about a quarter of whatever I needed to do. The other like 75 to 80% you learn on the spot. So you will always feel a little bit like you will always feel a little bit smaller, and you'll always feel a little bit like you don't know what you're doing or what you're getting into. And that's completely natural. Um, you'll learn a lot of it on the, on the field, on the spot, um, and on the day off. So one is expect to embarrass yourself more than a few times. It's happened to me at work. It happened to me yesterday at work, in a meeting. So it'll keep, one is that'll keep happening, but so you just have to kind of be open and have fun with what you're doing. But what that doesn't mean, and again, I will echo Mohini's point because it's good. You have to do the boring stuff. The boring stuff is important to that 20 or 25% that you're preparing yourself with. It definitely matters. You can't just rely on learning on the field. So, deal with the boring stuff. That's okay. Be okay with looking like you don't know anything or looking like you barely know anything. That'll happen. And as you keep doing, as you keep experimenting, and as you keep making mistakes, your vision will start coming together. Your idea of your sense of what you're trying to do will come together only once you start doing it.
It's great to see how your education and your creative experiences equipped you with both professional skills and your confidence.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, even this has come from years of fumbling around with public speaking and forgetting speeches. I would know.
Experience.
Yeah.
All right. My next question is for Mohini. As competitive exam aspirants, students usually have to solve hundreds and thousands of questions. What was your approach and mindset for solving a particular question, and how did you ensure that your concept is going towards the right direction?
So for any one specific question, like you obviously are asked something which you need to find out, or you have to prove something. So usually I would start like by going backwards. That if I need this to find out this, I need these things, and then to find out these things, I have this information. So that's how we usually progress. But most questions are not that straightforward. So there's some random concept somewhere. So then you obviously, if you know the concept well, so you can apply those things and solve it. But then if you don't know it well, I would go back to the theory and see that what formulas were given. And even though the formula approach is not the best, like you, it's better if you understand the concept and then the formula and then. But at least I tried to first understand the formula, like if the formula is applied. And then anyways, so then all that I would do, and if the question works out, cool. Otherwise, there's always like some really crazy trick or some crazy assumption which they use which we didn't know about, and then all that, like you need to like just do a lot of practice and like mostly get that. So for me it was like lots of experimenting, and there were tons of questions where I was just stuck, and I was like, even if I got the answer, I wouldn't know that, okay, how am I supposed to think of this in exam? So then that comes with like experience. Like if you solve two or three types of questions, and if you see the concept what is being used, then you can kind of get the other questions as well. But it mostly depends on the concept if you have a good understanding, rather than just the formula that, okay, I applied this formula, I put the values and I got it. It's not that straightforward in like competitive exams. Yeah, I hope I was able to answer it.
Definitely, definitely. I just want to ask a follow-up.
Yeah.
Did you ever struggle with speed? Because, we might have the concept clear, but then some people don't cannot do the question fast enough and really lag behind the toppers. Did you
Yeah.
ever face this? Because
Yeah. So yeah, you were saying?
nothing. You can
Okay. So I did face this very often, and I feel like no one can ever, like, very few people can actually reach the place where they can solve all the questions in the right time. So it's always a trade-off that is this question worth this much time? So especially when you're in the exam, it's like if the question is taking way too long, it's better to just leave it. and then do the questions which are easier. But then when you're at home, I would say you should give a significant amount of time trying to think about the question, because you may not get the answer of the question, but you'll get a lot of concepts clear in the process. That, okay, I can try this approach and then that approach. But then even if they don't work, at least those approaches are clear to you, that, okay, they don't work here. So, it's like Einstein said that I didn't find 99 ways to do it, something like that. I forgot. But yeah, I didn't do it in my 100th try, but I found 99 ways not to do it. So it's like when you're practicing, you should definitely give time. But when you're in the exam, you should try to like optimize your time a lot, because that's a big mistake. You don't have to have an ego with the question that why am I not able to get it? If you're not able to get it in 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever the scale is, then just skip it and move to the next question. Like some questions are designed that way that they will take a really long time. So they are done to trick you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mohini. Thank you, Mohini. That really helped. All right. I would like to ask my next question to Amog. With AI tools becoming more common, many students wonder if creativity should be replaced by technology. As a professional designer, how do you see AI changing the future of design? And what skills should today's students focus on developing?
Uh, so this is like a very what is it, running strong question in the like in a field. I even every day we're kind of having debates about that in the workplace. And I was for the longest time in this kind of sense of misconception that AI was aiming to replace us, or like the people behind AI were aiming to replace, creativity and some of these aspects of humanity that we have. And the real, like, or not real, but the realization that I'd had from that is more so that um, if I try to compete with an AI on the aspects that it has, which is speed and the amount that it's able to create, which is the things it's good at because it's a machine, I would not win. But if it was to compete with me in terms of a sense of novelty and in terms of a sense of creative association, um, and a sense of divergent thinking, which are all very big fancy ways to say that in terms of creativity, it would have its own shortfalls. So, you know its strengths and place its strengths very clearly in its strengths as a machine. Its speed, its ability to, get you hundreds of pieces of data from across the internet is, superb, and no human can compete with that. What it cannot do is come up with something original, which is, I know, a very simple, offhanded way of stating it. But as you learn and as you research how some of these AIs work and how some of the tools that you use work, specific tools, as you say, like ChatGPT and LLM, all it's really doing is parsing the internet, finding those certain phrases of patterns of words. It's like trying to predict what the next word it is. So if there was a metaphor somebody made that if Copernicus or if Galileo in their years asked an AI, hey, does the Earth move around the sun or does the sun move around the Earth? The AI would compile all the sources and tell them, yeah, no, everything moves around the Earth. So when it comes to coming up with novel ideas, when it comes to coming up with a way of thinking or a philosophy of approach, a philosophy of your work, the way you approach these things has to come from you. The final say has to come from you. The legwork of doing research and things like that, I still believe should come from you as an individual. But in a place like in the workplace, when you just don't have the time to go into deep dives of research and pull things together and compile all your resources and ideate for several days, um, then you can delegate your that work to the machine and delegate it to giving you something at speed. The thought has to come from you. The execution can't come from an AI. At least in design. So I'm not saying this is like for all of life, but this is how I feel about design. And I know it's not exactly relevant to design, but in conversation with some of my CS friends, people who are currently working now and have studied with me at IIT, they and they've used it, they've learned it, they've deep dived into it. What they tell me is that the logic of the code has to come from you. The AI can only do its best to find the correct places from which to copy the code and give it back to you. So know what you want, know what you're going for, and trust your intuition. And then you can bring AI into the picture. Don't start with the sense of, oh, you know what, let's just get the easy thing to do it. Because you'll then start losing your intuition, you start losing your instinct, is how I feel about it. So
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Amuk. Your perspective on AI highlights the importance of nurturing creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking alongside technology. So you basically segregated your task and the AI task clearly, right?
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yes.
My question is for Mohini.
Yep.
Yeah. So working as an intern with big MNCs like HSBC and JP Morgan, it must be a thrilling experience and consistent learning process. Why exactly did you choose these internships, and how did these experiences help you evolve your personality?
So like for me, I was also very confused before intern season. What should I aim for and what should I get? Because you don't get a lot of chances, so you need to be very clear on what you want. So for me, I really like I spoke to a lot of my seniors. So I would recommend this for all of you, even if you're in school. But it doesn't apply much in school because the teachers are enough. But when you're in college, you should definitely talk to your seniors and try to get to know, what the scenario is, how our internship seasons and all done. So I did that and I got to know there's not like there's a lot of options that come in for us. But for me, for my interest, there was mostly like finance, maths, or there was software engineering. I was also interested in that. And there was AIML also, which is really booming right now. So for me, I also prepared for all of these. I gave tests for a lot of firms as well. But then I realized that I'm really interested in maths and probability and statistics and all that. So then finance was like a really easy choice for me that way. So I did my internship then at JP Morgan. And over there, I realized that it's actually very fun also. So I realized that I don't want to change this field. So then later on, I pursued like a job in quant as well. So
Oh,
that was my thought process.
it's great to hear how those experiences shaped you.
Yep.
My next question is for Amok. So, as students prepare to navigate the same transition from college to the professional world that you did, what advice would you like to offer those looking forward to follow the similar path?
Mm, I think, yeah, it makes it seem like I've figured it all out, but no, I'd say most of my like growing life, most of my later school, college has been figuring it out. Even now, like I try and think about my work as, okay, fine, fantastic. I'm in the field, I'm in design, I'm in this space. Where do I go from here? So I don't think I don't think I'd had a clear idea of what I saw myself doing. And the few times that I did, it changed as soon as I started chasing that and as soon as I started doing that. And that's it's not exactly a bad thing. I think in when I was in I think eighth or ninth standard, I started preparing for JEE because I thought that I wanted to do engineering, something maybe specifically in physics. Um, and I remember as I was kind of going through it that as much as I enjoyed um, as much as I enjoyed some aspects of physics, the it wasn't a strength. It wasn't something that I found myself um being particularly strong at, and it had left me a little bit upset for a long period of time. There was a long period of time where I was doing it and I didn't know I was preparing and I didn't know why I was going for it or where I was going with this, or okay, fine, cool, I'll get a good rank, and then what am I gonna do? Like feeling there's that sense of like dread almost. But as a couple of other people told me that, hey, by the way, this design thing exists. If you want to try it out, I tried it out for some time. I kind of dipped my fingers in the jar, and I was like, okay, fine. This is quite interesting. Within design, there's 100 different fields and there's 100 different domains. And at that time, I wanted to do automotive, like sit and make cars and stuff like that. I have all my stuff around me. Like I could turn the camera
Wow.
and show you. But like, and behind me also, you can probably see a Lego
Yeah, I
car there.
can. This guy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. This is like one of 10 that I have. So I wanted to do automotive design initially, and then as I started exploring all of this more, I said, you know what? Graphic design seems cool. UX design seems interesting in its own analytical and logical way. Um, Art history, like even fine art interested me, even though again that too was a little bit far removed from my core skills. I kind of followed some of the things I was good at more than a dream that I was chasing. I followed the tools that I'd had. Um, and from those tools, I learned that, okay, fine, there is this left turn which looks really good, and there's this right turn which also seems interesting, and there's the straight road which I'm already on. Um, if you can afford that risk and if you can afford the effort of changing gears, do take it. You're in school right now. If there's something you guys, if you're planning on a certain route, and a certain future for yourself, fantastic. Go for it. But be in touch with all of your strengths. Be in touch with this. If you have an analytical mind, you might do fantastically in something like the IAS. If you have a very strong sense of of political science or history, look into the social sciences, look into the humanities, even post your engineering. The good thing about an engineering degree that I have learned after the fact, and from my friends, is that there's still a lot of openness. So, you know and it's certain that some of you will, either due to the state of mind you were in growing up, you're like dead set on a certain route, and you're dead set on what your next 2 years or what your next 3 years looks like. If so, fantastic. But if you don't know what your next 2 or 3 years look like, that's okay. um, Follow your strengths, follow your instincts, and you'll at least get the next few months. um, go for those few months, and then you'll get the next few months. Okay, so just always take the next step, and you'll eventually look back and realize you've walked quite far.
Going with the flow is the answer.
Yeah.
Your journey is a wonderful reminder to stay curious and embrace opportunities. Thank you.
I also wanted to say these are
Now,
very fantastically researched questions, and I
I have
enjoyed
researched on
answering
both
them.
of you. Interesting.
okay. Now that we've gained such valuable insights from our guests, I'd like to share something amazing. Miss Mohini and Mr. Amog, although you've moved on after graduating from DPS Bangalore East, the hallways still miss you. Yeah, so on the academic front, on the academic front, we have introduced a lot of things First of all, we have the Omega block and IB. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay. On the academic front, we have proudly unveiled the state of the art Omega Block, specifically designed to support our expanding IB and IGCSE programs, alongside the equally new impressive Theta Block, both providing modern and collaborative learning spaces. Our sports complex has received a phenomenal overhaul. The campus now features a brand new, pristine swimming pool, a professional grade turf football field, which is FIFA certified. We even have a beautiful cricket ground for our students and upgraded basketball courts, as well as the state of the art snooker facilities. While the physical landscape of the school has changed significantly, the vibrant spirit of our community remains exactly the same as you remember it. We are incredibly proud of these milestones and would love to welcome you back to our campus.
Let's take a break and have some fun with riddles. Mohini, Amog, both of you can unmute yourselves. Ransh, you can start.
Sure. I'll start the game. All right. So we have the game right in front of us. You both can answer, and we'll have some fun this time. So our first game is going to be guess the celebrities. You're going to be given one picture. There are going to be two faces merged into one face. You're going to be having to guess which two celebrities are merged into one. All right, let's begin. Who do you think this is?
This is Shah Rukh Khan and one more person.
Definitely, Shah Rukh Khan is there.
Shucks, who has glasses like that? Uh,
Pretty famous.
Damn, this is tough.
Okay, let me give you a hint. He is not in the acting side. He is towards the the Google side.
Is he
no,
like trending right now or something?
is it Sundar
He's always
Pichai?
trending.
Is it Sundar Pichai and Shah Rukh Khan?
Correct, bingo. It is Sundar Pichai and Shah Rukh Khan.
That's crazy.
Sundar Pichai, the Google CEO, and our favorite SRK. Let's
Crazy.
move on to the next one. Who do you think this one is?
Okay, so this is easy.
Okay.
So it's, I think, Hrithik Roshan and Albert Einstein.
Einstein, yeah.
That was quick. That was quick. Correct. It's Hrithik Roshan and our Albert Einstein. Arna, take the stage.
Yeah. So our next segment is riddles. Tricky riddles, but they're really easy to solve. The first one is, what is so fragile that saying its name breaks it?
Silence.
Yeah, you got it right.
Damn.
Good one.
You are too smart.
Then the second one is, what has 88 keys but can't open a single door?
Keyboard.
Yep.
Yeah, piano keyboard,
Specifically
yes.
piano keyboard. Yeah.
Okay, piano.
Yeah. The third one, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
No idea.
Memories? I don't know.
That's also a valid answer, though. Over
Really?
here for us, the answer is footsteps.
Oh.
Yeah.
This one was a tricky one.
Yeah.
Riyan, she can continue with the next one.
All right, then. We have one of the most interesting games coming forward. Let's start with Would You Rather. You'll be given two choices and you'll need to choose your life onward from that point. All right. Would you
Maybe
rather would you rather eat college mess food or eat a bowl of sweets for life?
college mess food.
Oh my God. This is
तो
such a
मीठा तो
hard
मैं भी
question.
नहीं खाऊंगी कॉलेज mess food.
I'd say personally also college mess food. I agree with who have said that. Somehow, as much as I like sweets, I would not survive.
Same for me.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to the next one. By the way, is college mess food good?
I would leave that as a suspense for you guys.
yeah. I mean, you all
Okay,
can find
definitely.
out when you get here, but I'm
Yeah.
sure our reactions tell all.
Yes. Would you rather live alone in hostels or have a roommate?
Um, I think I'd rather have a roommate. It's fun, like for talking and stuff.
I think as much as I like the idea of having a roommate, I've had arguments with all of my roommates, like everyone I've had in college. So maybe
Yeah.
alone.
Okay, if both reasons are valid.
Yeah. Like I think a
Uh,
good roommate is the nice sweet spot.
And it's a luxury. It's hard to find.
Yeah, I agree
it's
with that.
completely based on luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Would you rather travel with a huge group of friends or travel with a few best friends?
Few best friends for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Otherwise you're just waiting there for everybody to catch up, and then you're there
Yeah.
forever.
I
Yeah.
second that. I second that. All right then. We're done with the game riddle. Thank you so
That
much.
was fun.
It was fun. It was genuinely fun. I would like to now hand the mic to Arna for the vote of thanks.
Yeah. So, as we bring today's episode to a close, let us remember that every ending is simply an opportunity for a new beginning. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. Manila Carvalho, and the vice principal, Ms. Preeti Suta, for providing us with this wonderful platform to interact with such inspiring individuals. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Youth Lounge teacher in charge, Ms. Richa Srivastava and Ms. Yoni Dikshit from the English department for their constant support, guidance, and encouragement throughout this event. A sincere appreciation also goes to Ms. Vikranti Ashtikal, Head of Department of Computer Science, and her technical team, Ms. Juliet Vinci and Ms. Lavanya Karthik, for ensuring the seamless streaming and smooth execution of this event. We would also like to extend a heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed panelists, Mr. Amog and Ms. Mohini, for taking out time from their busy schedules to share their valuable experiences and insights with us. Your journey has truly been inspiring. We wish you both continued success in your future research and all your upcoming achievements. And now, to our wonderful audience, thank you for staying with us and being such an enthusiastic part of this interaction. Your participation and support truly makes conversations like these more meaningful. This is Arna.
And Riyansh signing off for today. Thank you so much for staying with us and giving us a wonderful evening.